Hey, what's up everybody? Throne of the Tide is an old dungeon coming back to Mythic Plus in Season 3 of Dragonflight. Blizzard changed some stuff in this dungeon to make it worthy. This is a quick guide on how to do this dungeon and what to watch out for. So let's start. This dungeon is very linear, so you probably will have some overcount, unless you risk it a bit. At the start of the dungeon there is a few mobs you should know. The Oracle important casts you should interrupt is X and Healing Wave. Try to stop Waterbolt as much as you can. Make use of your crowd control to make this pull easier. Vicious Snapdragon has a chance to leave a physical dot on the tank. This effect stack, try to avoid high amount. Ravenous Pursuit is a fixate on a random target. The Sentinel's Crushing Depth cast is a big absorb shield on random target. Healer must pay attention to this, pump your heals. The Ravager face a random target and shoot a frontal, try to be spread. It also casts Volatile Bolt which has a big radius. It leaves acid pool on the ground after impact. Take the teleport and move to the next pool. In this pack, stop the Oracle important cast, X and Healing Wave. You also need to control the Tempest Witch, interrupt Lightning Bolt if you can, and move away if you get Lightning Surge. It's a dispellable dot. Important note, on the two Sentinels, hard focus 1 cause it's a pain to heal 2 Crushing Depths. First boss is Lady Nashjar, pretty simple fight. She cast Waterbolt, you should rotate interrupts on this. Focus Tempest is an AoE damage on the group. Move with Shock Blast, after the impact watch the orbs going out, and move from the gazers on the floor. On 60 and 30% there is an intermission. She summons Morlocks, 2 Frost Witches you need to interrupt, and Honor Guard. Look out when he frontals with Trident Flurry. Finish heads and go back to the regular phase. When you finish her, you go to the second boss, Commander Oltuk. If you decided to skip the mobs in this area, make sure you don't pull them during the fight. In pugs and low keys, I suggest you pull them before and not care about it during the boss. Crushing Claw is a tank buster. After the hit, the tank gets increased physical damage taken by 100% for 10 seconds. On Bubbling Fissure, you have to stack as a group and drop it in a specific location. Festering Shockwave is a knockback that leaves a dot on you for 12 seconds. Healer beware. You can use the knockback to stay safe from the next ability. When the boss casts Awaken Ooze, adds coming from the pools you dropped earlier and fixate on random players. You cannot CC them and the only way to knock them is by attacking them. After 12 seconds they transform to pool on the ground. Try to maximize the room to handle the adds mechanic. After this boss you go through this weird hall. Make sure you use the light on the ground to stay safe from the lightning. Take your time cause if you get hit, you die. Take the teleport and make your way to the third boss. Faceless Watcher's Crush is a tank ability, and on Shadow Smash you have to move. Faceless Seer cast Mind Flay you should interrupt, and the small minions cast AoE damage ability. Try to stun and knock them. Occasionally there is a purple lines on the floor, make sure you move or you will get silenced. You probably don't need a count, so before the boss you can pull only the front pack. This boss is pretty simple. He casts Flame Shock on random player, make sure to remove this debuff if you can. Number 1 priority on this boss is to switch to the totems. While the totem is up, the boss gets 100% increased attack speed and absolutely destroy the tank. Beware with defensive. Make sure you move when you channel Earth Fury. On 25% you move to the second phase. On Terrifying Vision you have to line of sight, otherwise you get feared and a lot of damage. And his basic attack is Mind Rot. He shoots bolt on all players, healer try to keep up. When you are done, move to the last part of the dungeon. There is a lot of damage in this part, so keep in mind. The goblins shoot spear on random target. If you can, dispel the poison dot. Interrupt Aqua Blast to lower the damage on the group. Next is Tainted Sentry. His only ability is Swell, which deals AoE shadow damage for 6 seconds. The problem here is that the corruptions make you take increased shadow damage when they die. This affects stack. Try to single target the sentry before you get too many stacks or you will die from the swell. Keep in mind that it's a disease, so you can dispel it. Recently, Blizzard nerfed this pack and reduced the amount of the corruption spawned. When you fight 2 sentries, make sure you focus one and handle the small heads properly. Last boss is Uzomat. Make sure the tank stay in melee range to avoid foul bolt. He targets 3 players with blotting barrage, which leaves pools on the ground. Try to put it close to the boss. Clean those pools on the ground with cleansing flask. Merc's Pew is a frontal on the tank. Putrid Roar is a dot on all players. The boss summons 5 heads, 3 sludges that drop pools when they die, and 2 heads that you should interrupt. When the ink of Uzomat die, you can move to Uzomat itself to finish this fight. Very important to use defensive right after the ink dies, cause it tries to kill you before you get the Tidal Surge buff. Make sure to check the rest of my guides. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There will be a lot of videos ahead. Thank you for watching. Peace.